Hey y'all, it's time to get this job finished. So I got my jars over here sanitized. I have the juice that we set aside Saturday. I think it was Saturday we did that. And we ended up calling it quits because it was bedtime. Put it in the fridge. I've got it warmed up. Got the jam maker. And then I got my Tramontina and my stock pot for the actual canning process. I have sugar back there. I have actual pectin back there. I have even more jars for the recanning of the first, what was it? Almost 2 dozen jars before we realized we were putting preservative instead of pectin in. Anyway, the recanning I'm doing next week when my mom gets here because it's already all preserved. It's good. I just didn't want to leave this juice sitting any longer. But if you remember, the Sure Gel had to be measured out. Pops measured it out to the exact gram amount I needed for each batch in the jelly maker. Because I've had this jelly maker before. I had the original version. I don't think this one's any different than the original version. But I did learn with the original one, you can't double batch. It does not work if you double batch. So he's inside. I've got my Sure Gel and my jars in there where his coffee scale is, waiting for him to measure out the pectin so I can get started. So this is all set up and waiting for that. But in the meantime, over here, my sewing machine is still broke. Pops is gonna work on it at some point. Baby girl still needs her gifts, so I had to wash the diapers and the fabric. Now it's time to iron said fabric. I don't have to iron the diapers and start cutting that out so that when the sewing machine is fixed, I can get to it. Right now, I'm medicated. I'm not drugged. I'm not on my, what is that stuff called? The heavy duty stuff. I'm on my I can function and do things stuff. Right now, I want to work on those. So let's get with it. Okay, y'all. So I ironed out those 2 fat quarter sets. One is a cute little bumblebee yellow and black fabrics, and the other is a flannel owlie fabric. Sent the pictures to baby girl to see if there were fabrics she wanted left out, or use them all, or make them all. So I'm not gonna cut them until I hear back from her, but I'm gonna start cutting the satin and the minky to get those ready to sew when the sewing machine is fixed. There's no rhyme or reason to those. I just usually go by scrap, which you saw I have some scrap, but then I bought 2 of the yellow and the gold in a 2-yard kit because Walmart, you can't ever find anybody to cut fabric, and it comes pre-cut and it'll just go in the box for future whatever scraps for the kids or whatever it turns out to be. So I'm going to put together some Lovies, some to definitely go with those 2 sets of fabric, some just to match up pieces I already have because it takes no time at all, and my stash is down to 4 neutral ones. And I start PT tomorrow. My mom is arriving Sunday afternoon, evening, so she'll be here all next week. At the end of next week, our son and his family will be here along with us and Granny. So sewing has to be done, the jelly making has to be done before the end of next week. So when Granny's here, her and I can go buy more fabric as needed because she'll be taking me to PT most likely because Pops has to work and there's fabric near PT, and if the baby girl wants different fabric, that's where we'll get it. Anyway, I am gonna go rest for a few minutes and then I'm gonna start cutting up this stuff. Oh, y'all keep watching. All right, y'all. So I sorted out the colors I'm using, the colors I'm not using. These are no's for this project. These could be a yes, but I already have those pieces and sizes cut out. Satin, and I didn't like this color with the owls until I saw it with this lighter pink of one I already made. So I do like that way, but I don't like it with any of the other shades of pink. And I had this gray and yellow one that I already had cut out, and I do like gray as a background. So I'm going to make up some purple with a few of these colors. I don't have any more gray. I thought about black. I think black is too harsh because there's nothing black. But next time I go to the store, I'll pick up some shade of gray nubby, whether it's nubby or it's just furry or what, I don't know. But I'll pick that up and make a few of the gray and the pinks and purples next time I go to the store. But I can make a few with the purple because the purple I already have cut out, and you'll see that size doesn't really matter. This was a scrap from a previous project and they're not exactly the same size, but this, if the satin is already this size, this will be the size of these Lovies. So I got that much done. I'm gonna go lie down for a little while and I'll be back later. Y'all keep watching. Alright y'all, break from the sewing project. Now it's time for jelly. Pops measured out all my sure gel. I should have 4 batches to make today, so my sure gel is the right amount. So I'm gonna put you on time lapse and get to work. Alright y'all, intermission already. I thought I had the 4 things on different circuits. Thought I had it plugged in the same way as last week. But when I turned on the jelly maker and the Tramontina, GFCI. So I rerouted everything, unplugged the juice because the juice doesn't need to keep heating up. It'll maintain its warm temperature. Went to start the jelly maker and it now has to go through the whole cool off process. Even though it had been on for 2 minutes, the plate is too hot for it to continue the jelly making process. So here we are on hold for a little while because this has to cool off. I'll come back when it's cooled off enough. Here's the ping ping. Batch number 1 is in the books. 3 have pinged out of 5, so that's a good sign. There's number 4. Anyway, it's time for me to cook supper. Had all this on hold. When supper's over, I'll get it all started back up. And by then, this thing should be cooled off. It's gonna be like a 7 or 8 o'clock night at this point because I have to process that grape juice. I'm not gonna put it back in the fridge. So I'll be back in a little bit. Supper time. All right, y'all, that is it for tonight. I got 6 plus 6 plus 3, so that's 15 little jelly jars of regular and 3 jars of Carolina Reaper jam for our nephew. So now I've got, for him, he's got Reaper, Trinidad Scorpion, and habanero jam. He turns it into barbecue sauce and jelly on his Chick-fil-A biscuit and all the things. So that's all of this. That was that leftover juice that we didn't finish over the weekend. My mom's coming in a few days. We're gonna pour out all of the runny stuff that I put preservative instead of pectin in and start over again. But she's gonna get some of the little mini jars and we're gonna do some spice in the mini jars for our family reunion in just a few short weeks. I never got back to the sewing or the cutting or the pinning today. This has consumed me. So I will probably work on some of that tomorrow because I'm still waiting to hear back from our baby girl about the color choices for the burp cloths. Anyway, we'll be back tomorrow, y'all. Tomorrow is Friday. Good morning. It is Friday. Pops is out at the chiropractor getting a massage and hopefully an adjustment as well because, you know, he has achy breaky back too. I'm wearing my VBS shirt and my long pants because when he gets home, he's taking me to physical therapy to work out my rib and back trauma that y'all know I've been suffering from. I never did get back to starting to cut my pieces, so did hear back from baby girl late last night. She said, make as many as I want, we'll work it out. She's glad to have any of them because, you know, they're gifts for new baby mama friends of hers. So I am going to start on the Lovies, and I'm gonna try a press and seal hack. I love my press and seal. I hardly use it in the kitchen. I use it for painting. I use it for caulking. Now I'm gonna try to use it for sewing. So stop talking and get to work. So the minky hat, if you've ever sewn with minky or the furry version of minky or any of the minkies, you know it is messy. So, right sides together. Let me grab one similar in size. Let's see, that one's too little. All right, we're gonna go with this one. So, the right sides together. Like I said, these Lovies are usually just remnants of leftover projects. So I need to cut this off right about here. So the hack is take a piece hair longer than your minky. Supposedly this is pin free, but I'll use 2 pins to mark my, I need better not fabric scissors for this project. That is not gonna work. I do not have better not fabric scissors. They disappeared on me. I had lots of children here recently and my scissors disappeared. So these are my current newest whiskers. They're not working. Let's see if these work. Yes, it's also the press and seal is probably part of the problem. Dollar store scissors, obviously they have not been used that much. So, cover the edge. What this is supposed to do is keep the mess Unfortunately, until my sewing machine is fixed, we're not going to finish seeing this project because I need the sewing machine to work. And I'm gonna save these scraps because I'm gonna set up a couple of these, kind of chain sew them all, if you know what I mean. Put 2 pins in to remind me where I'm gonna flip it. Don't sew here because I need to flip it. All right, there you go. One done. I'm gonna time lapse you for the rest of them. All right, y'all, so it got me probably 12-ish satin minky lovey things pressed and sealed and the openings pinned, ready to sew later. I'm saving some of the brown and black to go with those other yellows, but I did finish up the gold. But I need some gray and some other pastel minky. So after PT, I think I can convince Pops to take me to Walmart, and I will continue to minky up some Lovies, and then I'll get started on cutting the pieces of fabric for the herb cloths. Anyway, I got places to be. I'll be back later.